Hi guys, welcome back to my channel, or welcome if you're new here. Please consider subscribing to my channel, and today I'm gonna show you a couple of fragrances with the red berries. I do think that the red berries are beautiful, especially in this heat wave. Um, if you are located in Europe, well, not all countries in Europe are affected in this very moment by a heat wave, so red berries are a good way to kind of create a refreshing scent, and all the time when the red berry is actually added to a fragrance, it means that the fragrance becomes a little bit sour, maybe a little bit sweet, but more sour, so it's gonna be like refreshing, playful, useful notes. So I'm gonna just show you a couple of fragrances that I have here. I love them. I just made sure that these fragrances are actually the ones that you actually can get hold of at this very moment. They are still in production except for one because it was limited edition, but I googled it and literally you can find it everywhere because it came out last year. So it's very, very affordable, and it's still everywhere for you to purchase it. So I'm gonna start with the fragrance that, I have to be honest with you, I don't particularly like it, but I know a person, she's my friend, and she uses this fragrance and she swears by it and she loves it. And when I feel this fragrance on her, it suits her very, very very well. And I just had to insert it here because if I don't like the fragrance, doesn't mean that you don't like the fragrance, doesn't mean that you shouldn't go out and try it. So I'm just gonna put it out there because I do think that the fragrance is lovely. It's just me that I don't like it. But the brand, I am obsessed with the brand. So, and also, every single scent that I'm gonna be talking about today, I'm gonna mention what exact red berry or red fruit is in this fragrance. It's just to make sure that we are on the same wavelengths and we do understand what I'm talking about today. I'm gonna be talking about the fragrances with the red fruits or red berries. It depends. Some people call them red berries, other people call them red fruits, and typically under this kind of generic name we understand raspberries and strawberries and also gooseberry sometimes. We do consider goji berry as part of the red berries. Also, I have just wrote it down not to forget cranberries and currant, red, both red and black currant. And then also we have cherries, obviously, cherries and sour cherries, but I do have a dedicated video about cherries and sour cherries, so make sure you will go to the description box and I will leave a link to my video about sour cherry and cherry. So I have a separate video about cherries and sour cherries. So let's just start with this video. This is the scent. So this is Angel. This is Angel by Mugler, and this is Angel Nova actually. It has raspberry in it. Well, it also has lychee, but the raspberry is the thing that I'm most interested in. And the thing about this fragrance, I do think it is fine, but sometimes on me it pulls a little bit like artificial. Like, that's why I tend to not to wear mono fragrance of raspberry or strawberry, because in my opinion the majority of this mono scent, so if you just have this one scent, they tend to be a little bit plastic, a little bit artificial. So this one is actually a little bit artificial as well on me. On her it smells divine, but I do think it all depends on the skin chemistry. But I have to say that it's on her, it's fine. And what I feel on her is just such a lovely fruity scent. It's sexy, lovely, beautiful scent. So if you're interested in something like that, go ahead and try this out. And by the way, they also have this eau de toilette version as well, but I'm talking about the classic one, the first one, which is eau de parfum, Angel Nova. So the next fragrance is a fragrance that I love the brand. This is such a huge brand. I mean, they have huge history, and not only the fragrances, but also the clothes. So this is the Black Excess by Rabanne, and this is such a lovely scent. So I'm gonna read out. We have well, basically the cranberry in this scent. We also have pink pepper, but the pink pepper, I do think that together with the cranberry, it creates this kind of zesty opening, and very, sharp and zesty. Some people might like it, some people might not like it. And some people actually say that the version that was before this one is way better, but I do remember the version that was before it, and I remember that I didn't particularly like it, but the cranberries in here are very nice, and this is exactly the type of the fragrance that I would search for the hot weather, because it's such a refreshing, the first spray, you spray it and it's just, it's like, I can't say it's like a sip of water, because the sip of cold water, nothing can be compared to the sip of cold water, right? If it's scorching hot outside. But this one is such a good one. It's the cranberry, and well, it's actually, this fragrance is very unique because it's a mixture of something a bit sour and then a bit sweet. So this is such a lovely fragrance, and the plus side of this fragrance is that it's very, very affordable. Also, I have to talk about this scent, and it's very, very easy to get confused. This one is the intense version of La Vie Belle. And we have so many La Vie Belle flankers that it's kind of really hard to understand which one is what. I basically tell them apart by this kind of bow detail. Otherwise, I just can't. So in this fragrance, and this is La Vie Belle Intensement version, well, the intense one anyway. It has raspberry, and it has also the pink pepper. In my opinion, the pink pepper is a deal breaker. If I don't like the scent, but the scent has a little bit of pink pepper, there's a slight chance that I will like it, because I love pink pepper. I love this kind of, it adds freshness to the fragrance, in my opinion, for my nose. And if I already like a fragrance, but I haven't smelled it yet, I just read through the notes, and I find the pink pepper. The pink pepper is plus for me to go out and try this fragrance, because the pink pepper has something for me. It's such a good ingredient. So anyway, this is and what I do appreciate about all these fragrances, you will understand if you have some of these fragrances, that these are not this mono scent fragrance like strawberry or raspberry or cherry. Well, I don't have cherry here, just in one fragrance actually. But it doesn't smell, you don't smell like a fruit, a basket with fruits, right? You smell of fragrance. It's a perfumey raspberry. It's a perfumey strawberry. So it's not this kind of artificially created strange smell or plasticky smell or juvenile smell. It's very intricately made smell with some strawberry or raspberry, but you actually can smell that it's a fragrance. It's a fragrance, and a very well made one actually. So this one, and I'm a huge fan of La Vie Belle, and La Vie Belle, I know it has so many it has so many haters, and I kind of, mm, although I can understand why the haters hate this fragrance, I don't share this feeling towards this scent, or this scent, or the line in general, right? I do understand, because it can be so overpowering, it can be so so invasive even, that some people are kind of straight up afraid of this scent. But this one is so nice. It has raspberry and this pink pepper. It's fresh, it's sweet and fresh and a bit soury, and then it reminds me a lot of the La Vie Belle, actually, but in a more fruity way, in a more like lighter way, maybe summery way. So I do really like this fragrance, and as I've told you before, all of these fragrances you can still buy them. They're not limited edition, except for one that I'm gonna be coming to really soon. So the next fragrance is the fragrance that it just has, well, it says that it has wild berries. I have no idea what wild berries is. It also has black currant. And this is a Kayali, and this is the Eden Juicy Apple. And I actually got myself a big bottle of this, because I had a smaller bottle of it, like a 10 ml, well, 10 ml, a 10 ml bottle, and I loved it. I used it in, I don't know, in such a short term, and this one is so good. I like this one. So this is a berry fragrance for me. Some people say it has this kind of reminiscence of Maison France Coquejan Baccarat Rouge 540. In my opinion, no. And this kind of very strong apple note, for me, this apple, well, this is a very, it's a very appley opening. Absolutely, it has this kind of fresh, this kind of red apple, very juicy red apple, and berries, but I can't really point my finger into what berry is there. And although there's so many fragrances that have the black currant, and the black currant is one of the scents that I actually really like, and it's very prominent, but then it almost doesn't last. Um, there are some fragrances with the blackberry that, well, not the blackberry, the black currant, sorry, with the black currant, they last and last, but I unfortunately talked about this fragrance last video, so I decided not to include this scent into this video. This is Armani C Intense version of 2021, and it has this very juicy, beautiful, very strong note of blackcurrant, and it also has this patchouli, and it also reminds me of this kind of almost like a marmalade of blackcurrant. Is so sweet and so intense, and so that's why I'm not talking about this fragrance now. So anyway, the blackcurrant here, I can't really say that, well, I feel a blackcurrant. I feel berries, lots of berries, apple and berries, and I really like the scent. Actually, some people kind of hate it, but I love it. I love the scent, I love the bottle, and trust you me, like, well, the latest release of Kayali, I actually quite liked it, but the previous 3 to 4 releases were like, meh, next please. But this one is actually very good. So I'm sorry, I'm on a tangent. I just went on to talk about things that are not related. So this one is a very teeny tiny bottle. I actually like the scent. It's kind of expensive for what it is, I have to put it out there. This is the Dior private line. This kind of this is the Rouge Trafalgar scent, and it has a lot of berries, a lot. It has raspberry and strawberry and cherry and a blackcurrant. So this is a very berry, a very fruity scent, and I like it. I actually kind of appreciate this fragrance. I have to tell you though, that in my opinion this is actually, it's not worth the price tag. I mean, should it cost like maybe 120 euros, then I would say yeah, just go out and buy it. But for me it's kind of simplistic. The berries here are not artificial, they don't smell plasticky, they are very nice and refreshing and juicy and everything. It's just that for this amount of money I would expect something extra, and for this amount of money I would go out and buy other scents in this same line, just not this one. Doesn't, I repeat, it just doesn't mean that this is a bad fragrance. I just think that it doesn't worth, like, the biggest bottle, I believe it costs like around 450 euros now. So yeah, I don't think it's worth it, but it's lovely. And if you have it, go out and use it because it is really, really nice smell. Then the next one is, well, this is the only scent that has goji berry in it. And the only scent that has goji berry that I own, because I don't particularly like goji berries, how they smell. Well, I have to tell you, I have to be honest, I have only smelled one fragrance that was this monochromatic, like the monotone goji berry. It was the goji berry by L'Herbolaria. This is the Italian brand, and they are actually very good in recreating the scents. Because if the scent says that this is mandarin, it will smell of mandarin. If the scent is about apples, it's gonna smell like apples. So I have no reason to say that, well, it didn't smell like a goji berry. So it, but the smell of the goji berry scent of Herbolaria was, it was repulsive for me. It's just, I didn't like it. It was just such a horrible smell. And mind you, the tester was okay, but this is the only scent that has goji berry and that I really, really like the scent. So this is Bvlgari and this is Coral. Please keep in mind that nowadays the scents have different packaging. They were repackaged, but the scent itself is the same. So it has the goji berry. Well, it also has pomegranate and hibiscus, which I am a fan of. I love to drink hot or cold hibiscus tea. I think it's the best for the hot weather. So this has goji berries. I don't know. I don't know how true the goji berry are. If you are a goji berry fan, please go out, try the scent, and leave me a comment as to how true this scent to a goji berry is. But this might be an option for you. I personally love this scent, not because of the goji berry. I kind of feel this kind of green, something really green, something a bit fresh. But then I can also feel hibiscus and pomegranate. So for me, this is primarily about pomegranate and hibiscus. But this is a nice one. This is a very, very nice scent. If you have it, please let me know how do you feel about this scent. So the next one is the fragrance that I've told you that is nowadays discontinued. Well, I didn't find it on a website, on an official website of Elizabeth Arden. And usually when I do my research, I go to an official website, and if the official website doesn't have the scent, it means that the scent doesn't exist anymore. In a way, it does exist in shops, but it just is not produced anymore. So the stocks are until they are not, until they don't sell them. But this scent is still in stock, trust me. I see it everywhere. This is Fifth Avenue, New York Pulse, and this is Elizabeth Arden, as I've told you. So this is such a nice scent, and on the plus side, it is very, very low cost. I believe that this is 75 ml, and I believe it costed something like 19 euros, something like that. So this one, it has black currant, the black currant scent, but it's, again, the black currant is very evident, but it also is a very sweet, like a bit like a bit caramelized black currant, almost, because it has sweetness to it. So it's not like very berry. It is berry, but very nice and sweet and beautiful berry, yet refreshing, because again it has the pink pepper next to it. So I am in love with the scent. It's such a nice scent, and again it's very affordable. It's very nice, and I appreciate when Elizabeth Arden makes this new New York Fifth Avenue scents, because usually they are very good and very affordable. So these would be my scents, like with the red berries. And again, in the description box you will find the link to the video, separate video, with the cherry fragrances. Yeah, I understand that I didn't have a lot of fragrances with strawberries. It's just because at the moment I don't have this scent, that I have it in mind, and sometimes I kind of want to buy it. So it's a haute couture by Givenchy, and it had such a lovely scent. It has such a lovely strawberry accord to it, and it was such a good fragrance. And sometimes I think that I should repeat it, because it was strawberry, but a perfumed strawberry, very beautiful one. If you have the scent, please let me know how you love it. If you love it, I hope you do. Yeah, so I thank you for your attention. I do hope that this video was interesting for you, and I wish you a beautiful day, and I will see you on Sunday. Bye.